What happens when a legendary rock icon comes face to face with morning television's most controversial host? You won't believe what unfolds when Rod Stewart sits down with Lorraine Kelly, only to find himself trapped in an ambush that spirals completely out of control. This isn't just another celebrity chat gone wrong. This is the explosive moment that has everyone talking, where professional boundaries are shattered and reputations hang in the balance. Before we get into this incredible story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below, because you're not going to believe what unfolds when these two powerhouses clash in the most dramatic fashion imaginable. The atmosphere in the studio was already electric as Rod Stewart settled into the familiar orange chair opposite Lorraine Kelly. What started as promotional appearances for his latest tour quickly transformed into something far more sinister, with Kelly's trademark smile masking what would become one of the most brutal interrogations in morning television history. "Rod, lovely to have you back," Kelly began, her voice dripping with false sweetness as she shuffled through her notes with deliberate slowness. "Now, I know you're here to talk about your tour, but I think our viewers are more interested in some other stories that have been circulating lately." Stewart's expression immediately shifted, his legendary charm replaced by visible wariness. "Well, Lorraine, I thought we were here to discuss the music and the shows coming up. That's what was arranged with your producers." But Kelly wasn't backing down. Instead, she leaned forward with predatory intensity, her eyes gleaming with the kind of malicious excitement that makes for viral television moments. "Oh, we'll get to that, don't worry. But first, let's address the elephant in the room. There have been some rather interesting reports about your recent behavior backstage at various venues. Care to comment on the allegations about your treatment of crew members?" The veteran rocker's jaw tightened visibly as he processed the unexpected ambush. "I'm sorry, what allegations exactly? This is the first I'm hearing of any issues with crew members. If there were problems, why wasn't I or my management contacted directly?" Kelly's smile widened, revealing the calculated cruelty behind her morning television persona. "Well, Rod, according to our sources, there have been multiple complaints about verbal abuse, unreasonable demands, and what some are calling diva behavior that goes far beyond normal professional expectations. One crew member described working with you as walking on eggshells around a ticking time bomb." The studio fell into uncomfortable silence as Stewart's face flushed with genuine anger. "That's absolutely ridiculous and completely unfounded. I've been in this business for over 50 years. And I've always treated people with respect. I don't know what game you're playing here, Lorraine, but this isn't journalism. This is a hit job." Rather than backing down in the face of Stewart's mounting frustration, Kelly pressed harder, her voice taking on an edge of barely contained glee. "A hit job? Rod, I'm simply asking you to address concerns that have been raised about your professional conduct. Surely, someone of your experience can handle a few straightforward questions without getting defensive." Stewart shifted uncomfortably in his chair, his hands gripping the armrests as he struggled to maintain his composure. "Defensive? You've ambushed me with anonymous accusations that I've never heard before. This isn't professional journalism, Lorraine. This is tabloid sensationalism dressed up as morning television." Kelly's laugh was sharp and dismissive, cutting through the tension like a blade. "Oh, Rod, please don't lecture me about professionalism. We both know there have been whispers about your attitude for years. The difference is, I'm finally brave enough to ask the questions that need asking." The rock legend's patience was visibly fraying as he leaned forward, his voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. "Brave enough? Is that what you call this? Spreading unverified gossip and presenting it as fact? I've done hundreds of interviews over the decades, and I've never encountered such unprofessional behavior from a host." But Kelly was relentless, her attack becoming more personal and vicious with each passing moment. "Unprofessional? Rod, let's talk about unprofessional. What about the reports of you storming out of recording sessions when things don't go your way? What about the stories of you berating sound technicians over minor issues? Our viewers deserve to know who they're really supporting when they buy concert tickets." Stewart's composure finally cracked completely as he stood up from his chair, his voice rising with indignation. "This is absolutely unbelievable. You've invited me here under false pretenses to launch a character assassination based on anonymous sources and unverified claims. I won't sit here and be slandered on live television by someone who's clearly more interested in creating controversy than conducting a proper interview. Kelly's eyes lit up with triumph as she sensed her prey preparing to flee, her voice becoming even more caustic and aggressive. So you're running away then? Can't handle a few tough questions about your behavior? This is exactly the kind of response our sources described. Explosive reactions when confronted with uncomfortable truths. The legendary performer's face was now red with fury as he pointed an accusatory finger at his tormentor. Running away? I'm removing myself from a toxic situation orchestrated by someone who has no business calling herself a journalist. You've turned what should have been a professional interview into a vicious attack designed purely for sensational television. Kelly's mask finally slipped completely as she revealed the full extent of her malicious intent. Rod, you can storm out if you want, but our viewers have seen enough. They've seen how you react when faced with legitimate questions about your conduct. Sometimes, the most revealing moments happen when people think they can control the narrative. Stewart was already moving toward the exit, his voice carrying across the studio with decades of performance experience behind it. Legitimate questions? You call this ambush journalism legitimate? I've been nothing but professional throughout my entire career, and I won't be subjected to this kind of character assassination by someone who's clearly lost sight of basic decency and professional standards. Kelly made one final attempt to inflict maximum damage as her guest prepared to leave. Well, there you have it, viewers. When faced with serious questions about his professional conduct, Rod Stewart chooses to storm off rather than address the concerns. Perhaps that tells us everything we need to know about the allegations we've been hearing. Stewart paused at the edge of the set, turning back one final time with barely controlled rage. What it tells you, Lorraine, is that I won't participate in your circus. I won't be part of whatever ratings grab you think you're orchestrating here. This isn't journalism. It's entertainment masquerading as news, and it's beneath both of us. With that devastating final statement, the rock legend strode off the set, leaving behind a stunned studio audience and a host whose calculated cruelty had finally been exposed for all to see. The cameras continued rolling as Kelly attempted to regain control of her shattered program, but the damage was done. What was supposed to be a simple promotional interview had become a masterclass in how morning television's pursuit of viral moments can destroy professional relationships and expose the ugly reality behind the bright lights, forced smiles,